So we are working for the first weeks of this month on scoring from the bottom position. Even if you don't compete, you still need to understand how the scoring criteria in Jiu-Jitsu works. And the way the point system was developed, it's good for self-defense, it's good for just overall Jiu-Jitsu. If you're on the bottom, a lot of times you want to be able to have the ability to sweep the person and end up on top. It's not only about submissions and things like that, right? So how do we get the highest score possible from the bottom? It is actually with a back take, right? So we're going to look at how to make a standing person go down, and after they go down, how are we going to be able to finish them with a back kick, right? So a lot of times you're going to have a right leg lead, okay? And the very, very important opening play is going to be when they're pushing my shoulders, they're lifting my ankles, right? So a lot of times if I try to stay very stiff here, he pushes me, I can still go down, right? So a very important detail, guys, is I'm going to be bringing my shoulders in front of my hips. And now, as he pushes me, slow motion, I go with it a little bit so that his arm is completely extended. He can hit me a little bit. I grab it, and then I come back in. So it's like a little recoil, a little pop to make it difficult for them to flatten you out, all right? So again, we're here. He pushes. You can do it for real. Push. I intercept just like this, right? And notice I get a nice 2-on-1 on his wrist. When I get my 2-on-1, make sure your elbows are tight. If your grip is very loose, this is very breakable, he can just easily get his arm back, right? But if this grip is tight, get your arm back, he actually pulls me towards himself, and now I can bring my knees into my chest, and now I can enter into a Deli Hiba guard, right? So the Deli Hiba guard, guys, is really basic, and it's really good, because now, for the newer students, if he tries to like sprint around you, no, without breaking my grip, just run around me. Yeah, he just takes me for the ride, right? My connections glue me to him, right? So this is just a very easy way to show that. Initially, I'm grabbing at the heel, but a lot of times I want to get a deeper grip and I want to be able to break him down. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to keep my foot right here on his thigh. I'm going to loosen up my hook, and I'm going to use the side of my shin and my knee to make sure that he can't open his knee up. If this is a little bit loose, if he opens up the knee this way, it's a disaster for me, right? He can do so many different passes, etc. So make sure your side of your shin stays connected to the knee. From here, look, I'm going to scissor my hips, and I created a big triangle of space here. In that triangle, I take a deep underhook, elbow deep, and I bring my thumbs, and I'm going to make a gable grip, and I'm going to bring my thumbs later to my chest. Here I'm going to do three things at once. I'm going to chop down, I'm going to kick his base out to weaken his base, and I'm going to bring my thumbs towards my chin. So when you do it at once, this is what happens. You break your training partner down. The foot that was on their thigh immediately goes to a hook. If it's just dangling there, you're going to get put into a toe hold right here, or an ankle lock. All right, ankle lock a lot of times will be even stronger. So make sure you hide your hook. So now let's try to turn into me again. He's pretty stuck because I'm putting pressure on his knee. Then I'm going to sit up and I'm going to do an overwrap behind his back. If I try to go like this, guys, you're going to get put into a kimura, guillotine, or he's going to underhook. And as he underhooks now, he can start to even take my back. So make sure you do this big overwrap grip. But now I'm a little bit too close to him, so take this hand, put it on the floor, scooch a little bit away, and put them into your lap. As soon as they go into your lap, take out their forearm, start to go for their neck, connect your hands together. We're going to fold over naturally. He's going to cover, cross my feet, open him up, second him comes in. So really, really basic back take. As soon as you break, you've broken down your training partner. All right? So again, we're here, they're moving around me, right? And as they're moving around me, they start to push me. I go with it momentarily, and then I intercept this grip. Okay, so just the little lean back helps you to regain your upright posture. From here, elbows tight, scooch in, my knees come up, and now naturally I can go into a Deli Hiba guard, right? My training partner should be facing me as much as they can, exactly, all right? They want to be stepping on my hook, they want to be taking this hook out, etc., right? Before that happens, I'm going to loosen my hook up, keeping my shin right by their knee, scissor, deep underhook, and I make a gable grip, all right? Now, from here, I'm going to chop, kick, thumbs go to my chest to break them down. Immediately, I take a butterfly hook so that I don't get leg lock. Set myself up, grab their forehead, hand goes on the floor, scooch away, pull them into my lap, capture their upper top arm, seat belt, shin goes next to their neck, open them up, second, all right? So this is for most of the class. If you're a little bit newer and this was a little bit too much for you, you can go for one of my favorite sweeps that still works till today. So the Deli Hiba can easily transfer to a foot onto the hip, and this foot easily goes behind the knee. So from a Deli Hiba, in one shot, you have a tripod sweep. The details of the tripod sweep, just to review, is I'm making him be on a banana peel. All right, so I'm going to pull, don't fall, okay? I'm going to pull his foot towards my rib cage. Now a little tiny push is going to make him fall, take my foot out, build a good base, and now I'm in a good passive position. All right, so a lot of people, they overcompensate with their legs. All right, they're just trying to like push, but people here can regain a good posture, or they can point their knee towards me. Yeah, and that's, you're a little bit stuck. Point your knee towards me, exactly, and you're like a little stuck. So to make the tripod sweep work, just point your knee towards me. All you gotta do is banana peel. And once they have a banana peel, now it's gonna be very difficult for them to regain a posture. Now you can come up, and then if you were here last week, you can start to go for all our knee cuts that you were doing last week. You can combine everything together if you want. All right. So we have 2 routes. Feel free to choose the one that's applicable for you, and then let's see how it goes, and either we'll take away or add as necessary. All right. Guys, I want to talk about just a couple of ideas really quickly, right? So now the first idea is for Marlon, right? So when I'm here, like after I make my grip, right? I make my grip. I go here. I don't want to stay with this grip too long. I'm having my De La Riva hook. Just take your leg out. Exactly. You can just take it out. Yeah, I'll follow him. Or even just high step it out. Exactly. And now maybe he's going to break this grip and go to my ankles and stuff like that. So as soon as I fold to my back, this is all good. I'm immediately going like this. Okay, I'm immediately going for his foot, and I have my leg wrapped. This is the benefit of De La Riva. Take your leg out without breaking anything. It's stuck. He's pretty stuck here. There's pretty good control here. Now, right now, Nas is an athletic stance. Nas, make your feet touch. This is not an athletic stance. Nas, go back to your athletic stance. Make your feet very, very wide. That's also not an athletic stance. He also has no base. So having a stance too narrow or having a stance too wide is not an athletic stance. That's the purpose, guys, of my foot pushing out. I'm trying to destabilize him, right? I'm trying to make his base really wide so that I can break him down easier, right? The other thing is, right, as soon as I loosen the hook up, the other thing is this leg is responsible to kick behind his knee and turn his toes to make his knee touch the floor, all right? But I gotta do that simultaneously, all right? So I'm pushing this, I'm bringing my thumbs to my chest, and I'm kicking this downward. Guys, in IBJJF, in the brown and black belt division, this is legal, all right? Not in the gi. In the gi, this is never legal. No gi, this is legal. But in the masters divisions, for example, this is not legal. You're putting a lot of pressure on the person's knee, all right? So it's pretty effective in that way, right? So push, and then this is what's gonna happen. He goes down, all right? Now start to turn into me. He's going against his own knee. If he starts to turn back step, I have to hip escape, and then as he back steps, he just falls right into my lap, all right? So just make sure you do a good job breaking the person down. And then the back take is going to be very available to you. And on that first part, Marlon, just make sure you're grabbing the ankle ASAP. All right? Let's run through it for like 2 more minutes, guys. Then I'm going to go over that.